The first images that you see of Prime Minister Narendra Modi stepping out of Air India One, that's the image that you see on your television screen. The Prime Minister has landed in New York. Extremely crucial visit. You can hear the excitement in the voice of the Indian Americans who are also filming this. That's the Prime Minister's entourage, protected by his own SPG, the Indian American community proudly waving the national tricolor. In fact, some of them were hoping to get to talk to the Prime Minister here, but that clearly is not happening. We are told that may happen. The Prime Minister does spare a moment or two. He interacts with the Indian American community briefly before he heads into this hotel. We were reporting in 2016 in New York when the Prime Minister actually stepped out of his cavalcade, and quite a nightmare for his security detail, because the crowds just surged to take selfies with the Prime Minister. And I want to once again cut across to India Today's Geeta Mohan for more on this before I bring in our guests into this conversation once again. Geeta, take it away. We see a lot of dance, song and dance also happening outside the Prime Minister's hotel.
Well, that's right. Every time Prime Minister Modi comes, the Indian diaspora organizes itself outside the hotels, whether it's in New York or Washington, D.C. If I can just show you the extent and the number and magnitude that you and I have reported in the past from 2014 up until now, Gaurav. But this year, in terms of the numbers, the area that's been cordoned off for the Indian diaspora is much less. It's much smaller, but you can see them dance over here. So they're all dancing, they're all enjoying the moment and waiting for Prime Minister Narendra Modi to come. They are expecting that Prime Minister Modi, when he enters from that space over there, will stop and meet and greet them. But we're also being told, Gaurav, that there are some of them who are inside the hotel, and so Prime Minister Modi could very well greet them inside the hotel or meet them for a brief period inside the hotel. But again, this is India's soft power diplomacy. The Indian diaspora trying to...
So the Prime Minister stepping out of Air India One, received by India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Ruchira Kamboj, Ambassador Taranjeet Singh Sandhu, India's ambassador to the United States of America, the defense attaché, the ministers of the Indian mission in New York and in Washington, D.C. And the Prime Minister is then escorted to his vehicle before he's taken to his hotel in New York. As Geeta Mohan was describing, the Indian American community very, very excited about the Prime Minister's visit. The Prime Minister gave an interview to the Wall Street Journal and spoke of India ready to play a much bigger role. Ambassador Kamboj also spoke of how there would be thousands of people who would be there at the United Nations headquarters at the International Yoga Day event. The Prime Minister would participate in the Yoga Day celebrations on the 21st of June. That is India's cultural heritage being gifted to the entire world. Around 4 o'clock tomorrow, Indian Standard Time, early in the morning in New York. That's the time when the event would take place. And we are told, apart from the UN Secretary General, several ambassadors and permanent representatives, diplomats and their families would be participating in this event. Geeta, again, when it comes to the International Yoga Day, this was the Prime Minister's initiative in 2014, and the way it's caught up at the UN and across the United States of America, it's huge. Okay, give me a moment as we reestablish that link with Geeta Mohan. Ambassador Sikri, International Yoga Day at UN headquarters. So India's soft power equally on display at the Prime Minister's visit this time.
Yes, I think that it's very symbolic and it's hugely important that for the first time in 9 years, Prime Minister Modi is going to lead the celebrations of International Yoga Day in New York at the place at the UN where the resolution on International Yoga Day was adopted in 2014. So in 2014, when Prime Minister Modi first came into power, one of the earliest initiatives was this on the International Yoga Day. The resolution was presented at the UNGA. It received the largest number of co-sponsorships from other countries. It was virtually a unanimous resolution. And it was amazing to see how this touched a chord not only at the UN but all across the world, because increasingly over the last 9 years, the celebration of International Yoga Day is taking place in China, in Japan, in all across the world, all across Africa. It has resonated. It has brought people into remembering their health, what the good effects of yoga, how it makes them feel better, makes them feel happier, makes them feel at peace with themselves, and how yoga serves many, many purposes. And this for the first time in the last 9 years, Prime Minister Modi will be at the UN headquarters tomorrow morning, accompanied by almost every other country of the world.